Hello, my name's Rob Lundberg. I'm with Reasonable Faith Ministries in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I am taking this time for the second part of videos in response to the cultural mandate. That mandate in review is we all worship the same God. We just call him, her, or it by different names. What we need to do is we need to learn from one another. We need to tolerate one another because after all, there is no such thing as absolute truth. In the first video, I responded to the issue of whether or not there's absolute truth by just very quickly going and showing how the statement that all truth is relative or there is no such thing as absolute truth, how that statement itself self-destructs. I want to catch the front end of that war cry, if you will, and deal with it from the perspective of all different religions. I look forward to comments on this video because I'm going to just leave it very briefly, and then as you, if you're watching this video or making comments, you can provide feedback on how to respond to it, which will in turn expand the scope of the subject matter. Well, let me just say this. The person making the statement that all religions lead to the same God or lead to the same destiny, the person making that statement does not understand religions. First and foremost, if you look at the views of God, they're all different. If you look at the religious books, they all say different things. If you deal with what happens after a person dies, the destinies of a life after this life is over, they're totally different depending on the religion that you're speaking of. If you compared Islam with Christianity or Judaism with Islam, or if you were to even take Buddhism versus Hinduism for that matter, you would find out that there are differences. And if that were not the case, if that were not so, let me ask you this question. Why did Gautama Buddha leave Hinduism? Because he rejected the Vedas and the caste system. Why did he leave Hinduism to form Buddhism? If all religions are the same and they're saying the same thing, apparently Gautama Buddha had some problem with the teachings of Hinduism, which made all of a sudden a new path, a new religion, which he came up with the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Why is it that God is impersonal in Islam and Christianity says that God is personal? Why is it in Islam that because God is personal but is very impersonal with his creation, and Christianity says that God is personal and we can have a personal relationship with him? And when I speak of Christianity, I'm talking about biblical Christianity. Why is it that those two disagree on whether or not one can have a personal relationship? Why is it that the books are different? I'll tell you why. Because all those religions aside of Christianity, in contrast to Christianity, are basically nothing more than moral codes. They show you how much your soul and your behavior and our attitude is dirty. When you go to a mirror, I like how Ravi Zacharias puts this, when you go to a mirror and you see that your face is dirty, you don't use the mirror to wash your face. You have to have something else in order to wash your face. You use a washcloth. In the case of the spirit and matters of spiritual needs, we need someone else to clean us up. And that is the purpose of Christianity. That is the reason why Christ came. He came to make dead people, spiritually dead people, live. By coming and dying on a cross for our sins, being buried, and raising from the dead in the same body in which he was crucified 3 days later. So, all religions do not say the same thing. In fact, they're totally different. If you were to take Christianity against Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and even some forms of Judaism, you could take the heads, the leaders out of those world religions, and those religions would stay the same. But if you take Jesus Christ out of Christianity, you take Christ out of Christian, you have IAN, and I like how Michael Ramsden says this, Ian cannot help you. So, bearing all this in mind, Jesus said, I am the way, the only truth, and the only life. No one comes to the Father but by me. He says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, I may receive you unto myself, that where I am, you may be also. Thomas asked the question, Lord, how do we know where you're going? Which then brought in that very, very dogmatic statement made by Jesus himself. You see, Jesus made a statement that was rather exclusive, a statement that all religions do not make. Christianity is unique because of this statement. He is the way, He is the truth, and He is the life. If you don't know this Jesus that I'm talking to you about, I pray that you would seek Him out. In the comments, you can send us an email at reasonablefaithmin@yahoo.com. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to engage your questions. I look forward to hearing from you. If you're a believer and you're encouraged by this video, let us know that too. By your comments, by your critique. Our setup right now is such that our video apparatus is a webcam in a room. So until we open up go beyond our horizons a little bit more, this is how we're going to be doing our videos. But I want to thank you for watching this video in the meantime, and know that I look forward to your comments and look forward to your feedback. Until then, until the next time, thank you for watching this.